Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you remember this show from such other shows as Stranger Things and even Stranger Things, Hoarders, possibly a guest appearance on Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Of course, we're talking about the Wednesday night extravaganza. We are talking about the Painting with Menoth John show. Welcome to episode 199, folks. Of course, we've been doing this for far longer than 199 episodes. The tales will be told of this show, John, that will start off with they never really knew how many episodes they did. That's how
true.
It'll start. So, of course, up in the catbird seat, you know him, you love him. He's my co-host with the most, Mr. John Spencer.
Heyo.
Hey, I smell like bleach.
Oh, why do you smell like bleach?
I smell like bleach
Clean it.
because I had to kill the black mold in my damn wet palette again because I'm not using it enough.
Yeah, that'll do it. Did you put the pennies in?
No. You told me
Put
to
the
put the pennies in, and I didn't. See,
I'm
folks,
just saying.
it's this guy. Listen to him. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very fun-filled extravaganza of things to talk about, including a rant by Mr. John Spencer. Ladies, folks, you know, you come for the whole seat, but we're only going to sell you the edge. That's how that goes, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I say it. So you want to stay on the whole seat for that one. I'm going to tell you what, because you're going to be gripping in. You're going to be he's going to be laying down a truth omelet. He's going to break those eggs and right on your ass. He's going to, and then you're going to know things that you didn't know before. It's going to be amazing. Of course, I'm going to paint, I guess. I got my little pug here. He's pretty cute. And I worked on him on the last time we were together a couple weeks ago. And I'm not happy with his eyebrows, so I'm going to darken up his eyebrows. I'm going to darken up his ears a little bit, just a touch. And then just a touch. And then I've got some work to do on his shield to make that fancy, because he's a fancy pug.
I mean, absolutely.
You don't want this guy. He's like a noble pug. And
You
we're not
guys
going to
want to grab the models I got for the Dungeons and Doggos.
There you go.
Start painting some of those up. But
There you
I'll
go.
wait till I'm done with the Daily Bugle. Sorry, I always get this confused. Daily Planet, Daily Bugle.
That's all right. You know, Marvel, DC, it's a thing. Yeah, the Bugle. So, well, of course, we want to welcome a fifth, unofficial third chair, Kathy Wapple. She's always here. God bless her. And we're very happy that you're here, Kathy. We're so happy we're gonna dedicate this one to you. This opening salvo of liquids. Of course, I'm tonight. All right. So last night, if you're a Facebook friend of mine, and if you're not, I'm sorry. I basically sat on my patio, and I had a campfire, and I took it's like my rendition of the Christmas log thing. I turn on my phone, I point it at the fire, and whatever happens, happens. And I drank a lot last night. I ruined the end of a bottle of Woodford Reserve, and then got into the Applejack. And I didn't feel pretty this morning, John. I mean,
Oh.
less pretty than normal. And so I decided that today I am going to drink a bubbly, blackberry bubbly. It's a blackberry flavor with other natural flavors. It tips the scale at 0 calories, 0 alcohol. It's not horrible. It's nice. Bubbly is a Pepsi product. And
As long as it's got a little touch of flavor, because sometimes, I mean, I like drinking water, but sometimes you want a little touch of flavor.
it's got a little touch of flavor. They touched it in the right places.
Okay.
The blackberry and the cherry are my favorites. The Aha brand from Coca-Cola has some very interesting flavor combinations that I highly recommend. I've never had one I didn't like. So I'm having the bubbly. What about you, buddy?
Well, I'm going to start off, since we're toasting Kathy. I'm going to start off with a little bit of this apple cognac I've got.
There you go.
You know.
Ah, nice.
As you can
like
tell,
it?
I've been drinking a little bit of it here.
Yeah, apparently you hate it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to follow up with my cherry drink, with cherry Coke and some tart cherry juice and some cherry vodka, and then a little touch of grenadine to make it the right consistency and the right balance.
I feel like that thing needs a name, John.
Yeah, I know. There's some names floating around for it, but they're all kind
Obscene.
of, yeah, basically.
All right. You could call it a cherry bomb, if that's not
Cherry
taken.
I call it John doesn't follow the normal instructions and just goes crazy.
Or it could be called It's the Pits.
It's the pits.
See what you did? Okay, so on behalf of Mr. John Spencer and me, Menoth John, to you, Kathy Wapple. Hey, Ron.
Ron. I can't take this like a shot. That's a waste.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So, like we said on tonight's show, I'm going to paint a dog because I can, and I'm going to take my glasses off here pretty quick because we're going to get into this show. The show might be 90 minutes. The show might probably be less.
It could be.
I think I'm not sure I'm feeling a whole 90-minute episode here, but we're going to paint until I stop wanting to paint, and then we'll talk about movies and stuff. But are you ready, folks? Are you ready for this? Are you sitting on the edge of your seat? Because the bullets are about to rip. Repeating to the sound of the beat. We've got a rant from the fellow up here in the catbird seat. I'm wondering if I shouldn't go to the media section to put you in the spotlight.
I don't know if that's necessary at all. I think
All right.
I think having the small head spouting a lot of stuff would be good. We get the good reaction from you.
Outstanding. There we go. All right.
Especially the camera. The camera knows.
I tried to make it move and it didn't.
You can't fool it like that.
No,
You
it's
know
got no time for that shit.
It's got no time for that shit. Speaking of time for that shit, at 7 o'clock today, Eastern Standard Time, Atomic Mass Games released their little teaser for their X-Men models that are coming out for Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Oh.
Which is good, because we want X-Men. Everyone wants X-Men. Everyone loves X-Men, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So they showed off the models, and they got Cyclops and Storm. They got Magneto and Toad, which is kind of cool that Toad's getting some front billing there. He always gets the shaft. They've got Beast and Mystique, and they've got Wolverine and Sabretooth. That's their initial. So that's cool.
Seems
they also
legit.
do a little tease Deadpool like you always do.
Yep.
That's not what I ran about. I'm very happy they're putting out new models, and it's not just the Avengers and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though they're doing a little bit of a combo of cinematic with comic, which is a good idea. No, the problem I have is not one of these motherfucking models is standing on his base normally.
Uh-oh.
Not fucking one.
Uh-oh.
No, you got Magneto and Storm in flying poses. That's cool. I like flying poses. You got Beast and Toad on, like, wreckage, and they're all sort of kind of acrobatic guys, sort of like the Spider-Man. I can understand that. You've got Mystique and Cyclops with tactical debris. Which, for those of you who don't know what tactical debris / tactical rocks are, I'll get tactical rocks in a second. Tactical debris is when they put some sort of debris that might be appropriate to sort of the battle zone or battlefield under the foot of the model, just make him get the action pose. And with Cyclops, it's cool. He's got his foot up. He's got his hand to his visor like he's about to shoot. That's cool. It's a classic pose. Mystique, there's not much you can do with Mystique. I'm going to be honest here. She's not super exciting. I actually feel like the movie version's a better idea because she was more acrobatic and interesting then.
Yep.
But the ones that take the cake, are Sabretooth and Wolverine, who are both just on fucking tactical rocks. And tactical rocks, much like tactical debris, they're just rocks that are there. And the problem I have with tactical rocks versus tactical debris is the fact that rocks don't belong in the fucking battlefield. You're in a fucking city. What the fuck is it there? You limit everyone's modeling abilities the more shit you put inherently under some model's foot. I mean, look at Ultron. I don't know if you saw Ultron. He's got this giant pile of debris under him. Like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. You get models. Here, hold on. If I have an example handy, you get Vision here. He's got part of a wall there. Okay, it looks like a city wall. You can make that work. But if you want to put him on any other base besides the ones they provide, you're fucking you can't. There ain't nothing you can do there.
That's really unfortunate.
And then you get here's Star-Lord. He's got the thrust and that's cool. That is how you do it right.
Yeah.
Because that'll fit. It doesn't matter what kind of base you use, as long as it's the right size. That little exhaust and all will be good. But these two motherfuckers, Wolverine and Sabretooth, the ones everyone fucking's gonna want because they're super fanboy. And them, Gambit and Deadpool, it's the big ones. And not that any of them are bad characters necessarily. It's just overdone. This Tactical Rocks, look, Tactical Rocks. Like, come on. What fucking year are we in? Can we not get with models that have some options and shit? I mean, they got head options, that's cool, but feet options? Come on. We're in the resin bases, make models look so fucking cool. And the guys who make resin bases can make all sorts of crazy shit for whatever the game. But the more tactical rocks you put into some fucking thing, the worse it gets.
That's really
when
unfortunate.
I was putting together Infinity models, all over the place, tactical rocks. Like, this is a sci-fi game, for fuck's sake. Why are there rocks fucking everywhere? These are like spec op guys who go into mostly populated areas to go do that sort of Shadowrun thing, do the thing, and get out. Like, rocks don't fit. If you've got all these cool science fiction bases, deck plates, and all this shit, and just fucking rocks there in the middle of nowhere. It pisses me the fuck off if you can't tell.
Yeah, I get you, man. I understand. I can see what you're saying. It as someone who does enjoy the hobbying part of this hobby, it takes a part of the hobby, which is creative basing, and just kind of removes it.
Yeah, and they've done so much better. Like I showed off, like Vision, you get a pass on Vision. He's got a wall thing he's going through. It does hurt the modeling potential of the model, but it's at least appropriate for the common battle zone. And then you get Star-Lord, who's got the best of them, honestly. Captain Marvel's got this big, fucking debris shit in there that you sit on. Spider-Man, at least appropriately, has this pile of debris with a girder sticking out that he's on. That's very Spider-Man-y, so I can give that a pass. But the more of this shit you put on bases, that first off, the more busy that you make the models, you start detracting from the models themselves, you hurt the model ability of it. And when you have single pose models, you don't want to hurt any of the modeling ability of that model because you hurt your hobby.
It's almost like they had a completely different vision for what they wanted to do with the models for this game. By taking away that aspect of it, it's almost they're almost got kind of a HeroClix feel to them almost.
Almost. I mean, the models are way better quality than HeroClix.
I didn't mean to say that. That. I mean, obviously, and that they're. Yeah.
But yeah, you want to get away from that because you're already looking at models that have very limited paint palettes inherently, because people want to paint the thing the right way. You don't want to I actually painted the thing. You don't want to paint the Hulk purple necessarily. You're pretty much stuck with red, green, and gray if you want to be quote unquote accurate. Anything else you can do, nothing's stopping you, but it just looks a little wrong sometimes.
I get you.
So by taking the more modeling ability you take away from things, the more you're hurting your overall end game, if you will. And yes, that was a Marvel pun. You're welcome.
Oh, snap.
So, as I posted it privately. Dear Atomic Baths Games, fuck off with all your tactical rocks and shit. And can you just make a model stand on the fucking base? Love and sparkling kisses, John.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, shit. At least you care enough to rant about it. You know what I mean? They got that going for them. I
mean, yeah, if I don't care enough about your game, well, I'm going to rant about it.
Exactly.
And I do. They make a pretty fun game. They have a lot of cool stuff coming out. They got Ghost Spider, or as you would call it, Spider-Gwen.
Okay.
And Miles Morales. I mean, fucking, who doesn't love Miles Morales?
If you don't like Miles Morales, I can't help you.
You haven't watched a movie, and then Kathy watched that movie now. She watched that this week.
That is such a good movie.
Absolutely is the best Spider-Man movie, hands down.
Without even, it's not even close. That thing.
I mean, it's kind of close. There's a lot of good. I mean,
but
people
nothing
bitch,
drips
there's a lot of
style.
quality.
Nothing drips style the way that movie does.
That is so stylistic and perfect. It is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's the one where I'm like, sure, you can like Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was good. It was very good. Had an engaging villain. Was very enjoyable overall. A couple parts were a little much, but overall very enjoyable. I don't even hate the Amazing Spider-Man with the other guy. That was pretty interesting. Fell apart a bit. Even Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1's really slow. It's really slow. I tried to watch it not that long ago. It was rough. I mean, it's not bad, but you got to be ready for the slowness. It's amazing how much that movies have paced up in a couple years. They realize that people know this. They don't have to belabor the point, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice. And pacing is really, really important.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at something like Doctor Strange, which most people don't know. They hit the ground running with that. There, it's fast paced in the beginning. You get everything you need to know, and you don't need to go slow.
No, exactly. Yeah, I like Doctor Strange quite a lot. Also.
Yeah, it is a very good one. It is. It's one of the great. Just watch it and go. Like, I don't need to see the rest of the Marvel universe. That's not actually important on this one. No. I can just watch that one and enjoy it.
Yep. Well, there you go, folks. I hope that you've all, I hope you've enjoyed this. We don't want to do this to John a whole lot because we don't want him to like pop, fuse or anything like that. But there you go, a little bit of a rant.
Yeah, well, needs to be said. Not everyone's all love it. I mean, it's cool. Love X-Men. Glad they're making models for them. I wish they'd make Shadowcat so then not Brushhead Dave would play the game.
I can rant about something if y'all want.
Oh, by all means.
Put on a fucking mask, people. Put on a fucking mask. So
what if I told you there was a way to reduce the chance of catching COVID by up to 70%?
Would you do it? That's not even a frickin' pill or a
Yeah, what if I told you that, huh?
Even the anti-vax people should be getting on this one.
Yeah, they're not injecting you with shit. Yeah, it's called wear a fucking mask. How hard is it?
Just fucking.
I know, Mr. State Senator or whoever the fuck you are, or real senator or fucking. The mask did not cause you to catch COVID, you fucking moron.
Yeah, he's an idiot. What's his name? Gomer or something like that is his name?
I'm trying. I
literally think his name is Gomer.
Because it's just like, and people, we all know you got to double check your sources, right? You don't believe everything you see. We all know this. Tell your friends this. Not all your friends know this. Your friends need to know that just because some moron tweets some doctor spreading some bullshit stuff doesn't mean it's true.
There's
how high that person is.
I knew 2020 could possibly have, it could be a good year, it could be a bad year. It's an election year. We could end up with 4 more years of chaos, or we could, maybe pull out of this nosedive. I was not prepared to roll up on Twitter at any point in 2020 to find the term demon sperm trending on that service.
You would not have associated with anything good. You'd be like, oh, how did this trend?
What?
I mean, usually fan fiction doesn't trend like that.
I know, exactly. It's like, this is a tingler. I'm waiting for Pounded in the Ass by demon sperm. That's a tingler waiting to happen.
I mean, honestly, I've never heard a more accurate description of 2020.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just nuts.
Yeah. We don't mean to rant about it, but we need to tell your friends, we tell everyone, we need to lead by example by wearing our masks.
Yep.
Just nicely tell them, like, no, that's not true. Look at this. If you're not sure about things, there's people out there. Check out MediaWise on Twitter. They are good at helping you disseminate what is real from what is fake.
I was thinking about doing the show in a mask tonight.
I'd have to go downstairs. Actually, I could get a mask. I have somewhere over here.
Yeah, I don't have any masks down here in the basement.
Yeah. I mean, actually, this past, not this past, week before, when I was talking to my cousin about said shotgun, we actually went out to a restaurant, and the hostess is there in a mask. My cousin does the smartest thing ever. He's like, so, what's your policy on masks? When should we be wearing them? When should we not be wearing them? I'm like, bam, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
a simple question, and she's like, "Oh, it's great when you're at your table. You don't have to wear them and all that. Everyone will be away. And then when you get up to go somewhere else, please wear it." And like we're like, "Boom, that's awesome. That's all we need here." And they're trying hard because these restaurants really need. I mean, if you can get curbside pickup, even if you're not going to sit in a restaurant, because I understand not sitting in a restaurant until COVID's over. I mean, I totally understand you. Most restaurants are distancing pretty well, so you can do okay, but I understand if you don't want to. But curbside pickup, people, you can help keep these restaurants in business. We want them. I mean, sure, when everything normalizes, quote unquote, there'll be restaurants come back up. But you don't want your favorite ones to go away.
No, and if you're not patronizing them, they will.
Yeah, because they can't afford to do this.
Yeah, so I mean,
do what you can.
I don't know if I shared with you the saga of Kebab and Grill.
From a couple years ago?
No, from just here a month or so ago.
Was that did the stupid shit?
Well, no, they didn't do stupid shit. So I went in there and I wanted to get some nice kebab and grill, and I walk in, the guy serving the food didn't have a mask on, the guy in front of me didn't have a mask on, the two guys sitting in the restaurant eating didn't have a mask on. I got my food. I had a mask on. Got my food and I left, and I sent him a message on Messenger, and I said, I'm very disappointed. I've eaten your food on a regular basis. In fact, I had you cater one of my events because I think your food is so good. And I was very disappointed that nobody had masks on. I said, unfortunately, this will be the last time I'm able to come to your restaurant because it's such a small thing to do to help protect
everyone.
Oh, he's something appropriate. And it's just such a small thing to do. And I didn't post it on their wall because I didn't want to be that guy. Mm-hmm. And a day went by, and I could see that they had seen my message, but they didn't respond to it. And I wrote them another message. I'm now even more disappointed that you couldn't even take the time to respond to a loyal customer's concerns. And then 30 seconds later, I got a response with, we're very, very sorry. This is what we're going to do. We're going to implement a mask policy, and you'll be seeing a post coming out very soon on this. And they said, okay, everybody coming into our restaurant has to have a mask on by such and such date. All of our people are immediately going to have masks on. And if you come in between now and the time that the mask order happens, and you're wearing a mask, we're going to give you 10% off your bill. And the next day, I was back at Kebab and Grill.
And see, folks, that is how an adult handles situations. You don't have to scream and kick. You just let them know what you're feeling.
Yep. I just told them I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, like I can give the two guys who are eating, pass for not wearing masks.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. They're probably
even my group, when we're sitting there at Mission Barbecue, because Mission Barbecue's open, they have, down to like half or less ability to have people there. So literally, if you're sitting at your table, you're probably 6 feet away from anyone who's not at your table.
Yep.
And when we get done, sometimes we put our masks on, but I mean, at that point, we're already all in close quarters. But when we get up, get our drinks, put our masks on. When we do anything else, put our masks on, because that's all I have to do is just put my mask on. It's super simple.
Yep. And I went to IKEA, and I bought a little piece of wood thing that has five drawers on the top part of it and a larger drawer on the bottom. That is now the mask organizer. Mm-hmm. And so there are masks in there for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then laundry. So, I mean, I still need 2 more drawers for the weekend, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, now, of course, I'm fully used to this as I've been going out to work every day, pretty much every weekday since this started.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, it is. And, people have said, like, hey, I came to the office. I was disappointed you guys weren't wearing masks. And I'm like, so at the point you came to the office, you have to realize we're down to, like, 20 people in an office that usually has well over 120 and space for significantly more than that.
Yep.
my closest person was reasonably close to me, but he was facing the other way.
Okay.
And there's a glass shield between us at head level because that's how our cubes are inherently. So, Mike, I understand you're a little disappointed, but you realize that with so few people in there, masks were totally voluntary. Now that everyone's back, if we're not at our desk, we should be wearing our mask.
Yep.
They give us a little pass when we go out to the warehouse, because the warehouse is a lot of open space, so it's not as important.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, you go in someone's office, generally you put your mask on unless it's someone you're not worrying about it. You're like, me and my boss have long talks, we're not going to wear masks for that because it's going to get uncomfortable, and we're not worried about that.
Yep.
There are a group of people you're not worried about, and that's cool. But if you don't know that person, like, we helped my mom do her lawn and everything. We went and we cut down tree branches, cleaned off the roof of all a lot of debris and moss and shit, opened vents. We did all this stuff for her, to help get her yard ready. We're eating afterwards. Most of the family's there. We've relaxed with Max. We're all okay together. We're family. And then her friend comes over for food, and we all put our masks on.
Yeah.
We don't know her.
You don't know where her shit's been.
It's not an insult. And she's like, "Oh, do I put my mask on?" And Mom's like, "No, you don't have to worry about it. That's what they choose to do. It's okay." And it is.
Yeah, it is.
People are taking it like it's not an insult. It's only personal if you make it personal, and you will know when something's personal. If you're taking this personal and all that shit personal, it's a you problem. It's not a problem with the world. It's a you.
I still love the fact I got called a coward for wearing a mask. Okay, that's the kind of cowardice I'm more than happy to step up to.
I mean, I have words for people like that I don't generally use because, I'm a customer service guy, so I try to be nice. One woman on the phone was she's like, she calls, she's trying to take care of something, like, "Oh, I tell you, I wish I was in bed." I'm like, "Yeah, I wish I was at home in bed too." She's like, "Oh my God, you were in the office?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "It's okay, ma'am. I appreciate that, but it's okay."
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of folks out there that have got to go into work right now. That's how it is. I think it's the place where I get a little bit upset is when there are people who are being forced to work in an office it is absolutely possible for them to do their job just as effectively remotely.
So luckily, no one that I know that works with me watches this podcast, so I can say we're kind of like that. Many of us could do our job from home, but logistically speaking, for security reasons, we would have to either scan everyone's computer to make sure they're okay, and then they'd be limited what they can do with their personal computer because they're using it for work.
Yep.
Or we have to keep track of everything and let them take their work computers home, which causes another level of problems. Or, as we did when it first hit, we have to rent a bunch of computers. And I understand the logistical nightmare that it involves for IT, both of our IT guys.
Yeah.
So I understand where they're at, and I wish we'd look at that more, but we're probably will in the future. But it's tough. Like, I wouldn't want them to have to scan my computer and be like, "Oh, John, you can't do a lot of stuff on your computer because you're using it for work." I'd be like, "No, I'll go to the office. It's okay."
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a unique situation too, where I've perfected the art of working from home.
I have much respect for you because I can't. I don't know what it is. You put stuff in front of me, I want to do other stuff.
No, I get it. It's not for everybody.
I do occasionally work from home. I mean, I have a client that's open till 8 p.m. And on any moment, if our late person is sick, can't make it, whatever, I have to work till 8 p.m. Now, if I have enough notice, I will come home, eat my dinner real quick, and then be here on the computer working till 8 p.m. for just that client.
Yep, I get it.
So, and honestly, I can tell you it's like 2 weeks I've done that. About 10 days, maybe a little more. The amount of people I've had to help from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock is not a lot. It is less than one a day.
Yeah, for sure.
But, it is what it is. It's a different skill set to work from home. You've got to have that hyper focus that I don't always have, because I'm sitting here, I got models over here, I could work on models, I got YouTube right here, could YouTube it, I got all this stuff.
As it turns out, the workload at work is so high right now that getting bored is not an option.
That's awesome.
There have been times when things have been slower, but the same at that time, and it's a lot of it's we're in the design phase on 3 different projects simultaneously, which is my front end involvement. And thankfully the installations are relatively similar. So what we're doing on one, if we work hard enough on one of them, we get a lot of synergy with the back half of the other projects. So but like tomorrow, my day starts at. Let me take a look at welcome to Pain with Ben John, where we talk about our work schedules. Like tomorrow, Thursday. Thursday's not too bad actually. I've got 7:30 to 11:30 is full on two different meetings that are overlapping each other by an hour and a half.
Oh.
Once I get to noon, it doesn't get a whole lot better.
Yeah.
I wrap up at 4:30, but whatever.
I mean, 7:30 to 4:30 is a heck of a day.
It is, and then a lot of it is consistent work. So I just it's like meetings and stuff. So I try to do the best I can to multitask during meetings. If there's like sections of it that I don't have to pay quite as close of attention to, I can get other emails done and stuff. But it's not screwing off stuff. It's a matter of how many things can I multitask simultaneously to try to stay ahead of the wave.
Yeah,
so,
I'm with you.
I'm gonna hold little Puggy guy up to the light. I think I'm getting close.
It looked like you were.
I think what I'm gonna do next year is let me get Puggy guy up here. It's not. This camera kind of blows because it's so magnified that it's hard to say.
You can actually see pretty good on the screen.
And so I got his shield kind of inked in there to get some contrast on it, and I'm pretty well done with them.
Do a little highlight on that afterwards if you want to make it just pop a little more, depending.
Yeah, I got some Quicksilver sitting here, just waiting to shine up the blade a little bit and put some highlights on here. Even
a little bit of the higher blue on the maybe some parts of the shield to give it that next step if you want.
Yep. Yeah. All I did on this is a Signar blue highlight, and then I hit it with a little bit of Nuln oil to do some black lining around the edges, and then I two-brush blended it up in there to give it a little bit of an even coat. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So there you go. That's a pug, and I'm not going to do a whole lot more with them. Let me get this Quicksilver out here and just kind of shine up that blade a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a little touches like that. People forget little touches like that. Just the tiniest touch sometimes makes all the difference.
Yep.
Remember, most of us aren't painting to win competitions. Most of us are painting to make it what we like.
Right, and I'm certainly not going to. Hell, I can't even find a competition to enter.
Well, apparently there is one. They're having a Gen Cant competition, painting competition. I know one of the people I follow on Twitter is one of the judges, which is cool. She's got a YouTube channel. Does a lot of painting stuff there. Spends a lot of time on it. Just search Dana Howell, Howl, on there, and you can find her. She does good stuff. And always puts the Twitter pictures of food whenever I'm hungry. And I'm like, you're killing me. Yeah, it is.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, see all those pictures of food. You're like, I want that.
I bought a new kitchen toy.
Oh snap! What you got?
I got an Instant Pot air fryer.
Oh, that's on Banion's list. Air fryer, or maybe we were watching Sorted Food, which is another one of those cooking channels there in the UK. They had one of those up and down like rotisserie rack things, rotisserie oven things.
Oh, nice.
And he's like watching some stuff they're cooking. He's like, that would be great. I'm like, it would, but would we use it enough?
The machine I got is the Instant Pot Omni Plus, so it has the ability to be a toaster, a rotisserie, an air fryer. It does all kinds of shit.
Gotta hope Banion's not watching this, because then he's gonna want that.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, I've used it a few times now, and I'm a fan.
As long as it doesn't disrespect my toaster. My toaster is great, and it only costs $12.
You know, it's easy to get a good value-priced toaster.
I mean, I've seen toasters with all the greatest features. I'm like, wow, that is amazing. But you know what I need my toaster to do?
Toast.
Toast. I don't need a timer. I don't need an electronic digital display for what level it's on. I can turn the knob. is okay. I mean, some of that's awesome if you're really serious about what you're doing, or you just want the best quality toaster you can get because you like to toast all sorts of different things, and you're really important to you that the bagels are different than the naan, than different than the actual bread.
Yep.
It's those
The
things. It's,
yeah,
all your toys should be based on what's important to you.
exactly. And this does a lot of cool things. And what it did was it allowed me to free up some space on my counter because
Mm.
it does so many things. I was able to. Belinda Librarian had an unfortunate accident with her toaster oven, in that it committed seppuku.
Oh,
So she had.
I, it, I'm doing seppuku motion now. You guys can't see because the camera's too close.
Oh
But
snap! We figured it out.
yeah,
So if you highlight the cod piece on this thing, it actually makes it look like this pug's got a package, but it's female, so it's got a lady package.
hey, you know what? We don't judge.
No, I'm not. Hey, you know what? If that is how the pug identifies, then good on him.
Yeah,
Ain't got no time for judgment.
no, God, no. Oh, John, I know you'll find this amusing. Someone posted that apparently protesters in Portland were chanting "Rage Against the Machine" lyrics
Yes.
at federal troops, and someone said to Tom Morello, "Oh, do you think find it okay that these kids are chanting your lyrics at at these law officers?"
Yep.
He's like, "Yes, that's what they're for."
Yes. Yep. I saw the Instagram post that
Oh, God, it
that
was
Tom Morello commented on.
God. He's
I'm
fucking.
done with this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to base it up a little bit,
Mhm.
and then we're going to be done. I'm gonna make his eyes. I'm going to put a little bit of gloss on his eyes so that they kind of shimmer a little bit, like they're
Oh,
moist.
like eyes do, yeah.
So I do that a lot on some of my models.
Yeah, I find the good application of a little bit of gloss here or there, a little bit of satin here or there, a little bit of matte. You can really, next level a model when you're done.
Yep. Cool.
Still trying to figure out all the ways where you should use all the different ones, but it is what it is, right?
Indeed. I need to make a little bit of green stuff to put in the slot in the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Depending on what you want to base them with, too, you can even fill in a little around the sculpted base to give it a little higher base. You don't have to use as much material.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally do. Usually I put a little sand on there, but
Hmm.
because he's standing on a rock, and I think it's going to be really, really hard to match a sand with this, I'm going to take and I'm just going to paint a little bit with some Elmer's glue. I'm going to do static grass, and I'm going to put a couple little tufts up by it, and I think I can plus it up pretty nice.
Well, honestly, even if you do some sanding all around it and get a similar tone and then do static grass, you'd be surprised how much that'll blend it all together.
Yeah. I think
You'll fool the eyes.
you fool them eyes.
And for everyone who wants to know, that model is an example of a tactical rock being apropos.
Indeed, he's just standing on it.
You're just standing on a tactical rock. It's not like you're going to be always in a city, always in a dungeon. D&D models have a wide variety. Now, granted, if you had something like the Minsk and Boo I painted up, and they were on a tactical rock with a dungeon base, I would have been up in arms.
There you go.
I still would have bought them because Minsk and Boo. Um,
All right, so let's see what else we got going on this week.
well, I mean, they got this 3-part event for MechWarrior Online, and since what date is that? Let me get the exact date. Since about 8 p.m. on Thursday, the 16th, I have played at least 95 games of MechWarrior Online.
Wow.
And honestly, since they've done that reset of your player rating, I am having a blast. They're not all great games. I've had, out of those games, I've had, let's see, 3, 4, 5, about 9 games that were not bueno at all.
Yep.
A couple others that were kind of mediocre, but I'm having a lot of great games. It's a lot more even than it used to be. They did a good job. I'm impressed.
Excellent.
And
I was dicking around with it the other day.
it's definitely very, very different than a lot of other games. So I think if you play in Crossout, you probably get a lot more of it than others.
The thing with Crossout, the thing that I like about it is that the matches are 5 minutes long.
Yeah, these can be longer. They can take up to 15, and I did have one recently take 15, but it was 15 because the enemy team were dicks, and I don't mean that at all. They weren't like assholes about it, but we killed the last one of them in a stunning move. Like we were playing Polar Highlanders, which is like mostly a flat plane. It's hilly and all, but tends to be very stompy. And one of our people said, "Let's go to grid coordinates J6. There's terrain there. We can defend it." I'm like, "I'm willing to anything on this board because I hate this board." We defended it. They came into us. We just whooped their butts. And disconnect as they lost, which you do. A lot of guys, you get killed. Sometimes you stay and watch your team. Sometimes you disconnect. Choose another mech, go play. Well, they had a guy who had disconnected by computer means, like his computer kicked him off, whatever, bad connection, and they didn't tell us.
Oh, really?
Generally, what you're supposed to do, general etiquette, is if they have a disconnect after they've killed the last active player, you tell them disconnect grid coordinates so they can go run there and murder his mech so that they can leave.
Got it.
So, but unfortunately, by the time we found him, it was late enough that we barely got shots on him, so we had to play the whole 15 minutes. But, I got to enjoy the terrain a little bit, get to look at stuff, and realize it's not as flat open plain as I thought it was.
Huh.
Because I'm like, man, you know what? When you're playing this, you feel like, oh my god, it's flat open plain, there's nowhere to hide. When you're looking for a mech in this shit, there's everywhere to hide. It was a great fun. It's one of my favorite games, honestly. We won that one. I had one. There's a board where there's a tunnel, and no one ever uses a tunnel. You may have like one light fast mech run through the tunnel here or there. But no, we had one of our fast mechs go, hey, there's a couple guys. There's a guy in the tunnel. I'm like, all right, I'm going to come help you with him. Figure I'm not super fast, but I can help him. I got more firepower. Yep. So I go, and there's actually two of them. We take care of them, and then there's another, and I'm like, oh shit, and another.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, oh god. And the third, and I'm like, all right, we killed two. We can't take these guys. We'll hold them as long as we can. But then apparently the team had decided that a whole bunch of them had come too. So we had this huge fight in the tunnel.
Oh, that's cool.
And the tunnel was like maybe 2 mechs wide, so it's like crazy.
Yep.
We ended up losing that game, but I don't care because it was super fun and different, and that's what I care about.
Yeah.
I don't mind getting my bow up. It was actually a close game, but I don't mind as long as it's an interesting game. And for a new one, I actually ran out of ammo on my main weapon like 3 times, to which point I'm like, I apparently need more ammo. The first time, it was a very long game. I did really good. Yeah, I used all my weapons, but I was about dead at the point I ran out of ammo anyway, so I wasn't worried. The second time, I'm like, this is weird. I ran out of ammo. And the third time, we won that game, and literally I'm like 2 little lasers just pew, pew, and we're sitting there fighting them. The other guy's like, all my weapons are blown off. I don't have anything left. So he's like blocking guys, and I'm shooting them with 2 little lasers. And I'm like, somebody with guns, get over here and kill these fuckers. And then finally my boy Wood showed up in his Fafnir and just like, double Gauss. But after that, I'm like, maybe I need more weapons. But I ended up getting a skill that gave me more ammo, so I'm like, that'll be fine. And then I ran out of ammo again. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I need more ammo. I have to.
Is that something that you load you load as a part of the customization?
Yeah, it's part of the construction of the mech, yeah.
Got it.
So, it's super easy. I'm like, I don't need this heat sink. I'll run a little hotter, and I'll get ammo. Actually, you know what, John? I think you're right. That static grass was exactly what you needed.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
Worked perfectly, yeah. Hey, Captain Scotty Putty, how's it going? You missed all the rants and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, Scotty?
But I'm really enjoying MechWarrior Online. It's been fun. This new event's been pretty cool. I think I'm in the right tier. I'm down to tier 4, which means I see generally, unless it takes a long time, from tier 5, which is the lowest, up to tier 3, which is the middle. And then if it goes longer, I can see tier 2 players. But it feels like that's the right place for me right now.
Good.
I'm getting more consistently solid games. Like, this is where I need to be. So I like that. Actually, the funny thing is, if you and Rich start playing, you start off higher than I am.
I need to, I spent a little bit of time with it. I need to spend more time with it.
Yeah, it's the initial skill jump is big. Actually, I think you passed it because you're used to some of that stuff, I think.
But I used to play the MechWarrior games back in the day.
Oh, fun. So, whenever the guys talk about that, I'm like, yep, I played MechWarrior. Which one? No, MechWarrior, the first one.
Yep.
By the time the second one actually released, it was too good for my. It was too advanced for my computer to run it.
The Clan Cave Bear one or whatever the hell it was.
Oh no, I played the first MechWarrior. Then MechWarrior 2 came out, but it took so long
Oh, okay.
that literally I couldn't run it when it came out,
Got it.
and it was my computer, so I couldn't really. I was a fucking teenager basically. And then this is the next one I've played since then because it just sort of always fell off my radar. Plus, Diablo came out, and you play Diablo 2 for forever because Diablo 2. But I'm like that. I find a game and I play that game for a very long time.
Yeah, I played the shit out of MechWarrior and MechWarrior 2.
Yeah, and the controls are. I mean, I recall them being different. You didn't have torso twisting so much. You did a little bit, but
You did in 2.
Yeah. But this is like it's all about torso twisting and movement, and I'll be honest, I still am not great at the torso twisting at the right moments. Like I can do it to shoot somebody, but to make the incoming fire hit you in the correct place, that's difficult. I see the guys do it on stream or on videos. I'm like, you guys got skills. You may not know it, but you got skills. But no, like I said.
Yeah, the torso twisting to have a missile hit you in the right spot that's next level nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it sometimes, so I'm starting to get open. Like, I fire my weapons, I'll turn sometimes because I'm thinking about it, but it's to make it a habit. It's going to take a while.
Yep.
But no, I hope to see you on. You need some help, you just let me know. There's a lot of options to help people out.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know when I'm going to be. Tomorrow night I'm going to be, obviously, it's Tuesday and Wednesday, Belle's usually over at her place, so I'm sure it'll be family time tomorrow. But if I get some time, I'll message you.
Yeah, just message me. We'll work something out.
Yep, that'll be cool.
I mean, even just grouping up so that someone in there is going to be someone you know.
Yeah.
It helps so much. Like, I've been grouping up with random people. Like, here's the funny thing. This guy, Tiger Shrike, just, friends me. Like, hey, you want to group up? And I assume we were in a game together. I wasn't really paying attention earlier.
Yep.
I'm like, sure, let's group up. We group up, get some guys, and it's just good having people are, like, I know these guys at least basically know how to play the game. Are they going to be the greatest? Nah, probably not. But who cares? They know how to play the game. We just drop together. We know you got someone, they know they can. They're not on comms necessarily, but they can type in, John, come help, and I'll go find them and go help them. They know that's going to happen.
I'll tell you what, guys. Let's go ahead and let's bring up the media section here.
The media section. Excellent.
Been waiting for this?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm about to make people unhappy.
You had it with the Clone Wars, huh?
So I finished season 3.
Okay.
So obviously I'm going to take a break. I'm going to watch either the second season of Jack Ryan or whatever the current season of The Expanse is. Spoiler, probably The Expanse. But I want a little palate cleanser for a little bit. Then I'll come back to the next season, which is, I hope, is when it's really supposed to get good because, spoiler, it ain't gotten there yet.
I understand.
They tried. The season they tried, but they're hampered by the sins of their past, let's say. The whole out of order thing early on is taking the gravitas from moments in this. I said in the early episode, because I reviewed it when it came out, when you see Heavy and all those guys, and you knew Heavy's dead because you saw the episode in season 1.
Yeah.
It takes out of there. And I've told people, look, if you're going to watch it chronological order. It'll help a ton. There's some solid episodes this season. There's some crap. The 3 episodes where they're rescuing people from the Citadel are decent. Those are pretty solid. The 2 afterwards with the Trandoshans and them capturing Ashoka are okay. I literally yelled at my TV when they showed Chewbacca. I'm like, for fuck's sake, there are other Wookiees in the universe. It's not just Chewbacca.
It's a good thing my dog can't hear that.
I mean, it was okay in the end. It actually made the episodes better, but I was still like, come on, there are other fucking Wookiees out there. It doesn't all have to be Chewbacca. This is why people get pissed off, because you're all like, hey, look, what are the odds? Astronomical. Fuck you. So, overall, I'm going to give this 2.5 shots of Kraken. It's watchable. It's probably the best it's reached yet, though I think the Mandalorian episodes are still better than the Citadel episodes. But I still have hope. I've heard it ends really well. I've only got a handful of seasons left, and they get shorter as they go, so...
Yeah, I mean,
Open.
there's a reason that Ahsoka Tano is as beloved as she is. I'm just going to say that.
I'll be honest. For everyone who grew up with this, if you grew up with this, and if you grew up with this, you're probably a little young while you're watching this podcast. Don't drink until you're old enough. Use only swear words in full, complete sentences.
That is correct. As long as we're using them in complete sentences, we're fine.
But if you grew up with that, I can see it, because it is aimed more at kids, and that'll be perfectly fine. You will enjoy this more if you're younger.
Yep.
But when you're older and you're an amateur movie reviewer, you get a little, particular about things.
Yep, I get it. I mean, I came to Clone Wars, at age 51. So, but I'm also the father of 2, and I have a very... So, spoiler alert, I don't watch television to be sad.
No.
I watch television to basically, I want to see a happy ending, goddammit.
Yep.
And there has to be at least one character that I can glom onto and root for.
So, not necessarily a fan of Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined series, are you?
No, I'm not. I got tired of it.
I mean, you've got a handful of characters you can give a shit about because they're actually good people, mostly Hilo. And then there's some, the Triumphs are very good, but if you're not in it for the sad, you cannot, that series will crush your soul. Yeah. Don't watch it right now, people. In this environment, do not watch it. I don't want negative, I want positive.
Yeah, I mean, when spoilers, there's a part where it gets a little rapey. And at that point, I no longer had a species to root for.
Indeed.
And I'm like, okay, just fucking kill them. Kill them all and let God sort them out. I'm okay with
this. I know
this.
exactly what scene you're talking about, yeah. And there's multiple. So it gets, that whole, period gets a little rough, and you're like, no, fuck this.
There was a point in Game of Thrones where, and I don't remember where it was, where I looked at Belinda and I said, you're going to tell me right now if Tyrion dies. If Tyrion dies with what you've seen in the show, then I love you, but I'm done with this show because I no longer have anyone I care for. And then they did what they did to Tyrion at the end of that series, and I'm like, fuck. He went from the smartest guy in Westeros to the dumbest.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about the last season.
And poor Peter Dinklage.
I knew Game of Thrones going into it. I knew that wasn't going to be my jam.
Yeah.
I mean, more power to everyone loves it. I mean, remember, they make so much media because we don't all love the same things. It's okay.
Yeah, there's parts of Game of Thrones where it's just straight up torture porn, and it's just not good. But
this is why we love The Mandalorian so much.
Yeah.
It's upbeat. It's not childish. It's upbeat. You have tragedy, but you have good heroics too.
Yep. And you have a hero that you can believe in. That's pulling you through.
It's got a code. You don't have to be the most heroic person. You've got a code and you live by it.
Yep.
The best thing is when you get the Mandalorian and he gets his code or the right thing, he did the right thing.
Yeah. Yep. Scotty Potty, I completely agree with you. The Mandalorian is very easy to watch. It's one of the reasons why I enjoyed Star Trek Discovery so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first season a little hit or miss. It's not. I mean, it's solid. It's probably the second best first season of Star Trek they ever had.
Yeah. But the second season is
fucking amazing.
It's really amazing. It's a fun roller coaster ride. It's so well done.
And Captain Pike is honestly everything we needed brought into Starfleet. There's been too much. So I've said this on Twitter, and I got in a little argument. Not a bad argument. I was dealing with adults, luckily. But I think Deep Space Nine, which everyone loves, is great sci-fi and terrible Star Trek. Terrible. Captain Sisko is hands down the worst Starfleet captain. He's a fine commander. He's the worst Starfleet captain. You have an episode where he threatens to kill an entire world because of whatever bullshit of the day it is, and that is not something a Starfleet captain would ever do.
Yeah, and I like that it has aspects of Dark Starfleet without beating you over the head with it.
Yes.
There's still reason to believe
Yeah.
in Starfleet.
Absolutely. And
Yeah. So yeah, we've talked about that before. My dog's getting anxious. He's beating the shit out of one of his stuffed toys.
oh, snap.
Anyway, yeah, he probably wants to get out. He's been cooped up all day. I'm gonna take him to the spa tomorrow and let him hang out with his buddies.
Oh, cool.
Get a workout. It'll be good.
So, where's that?
So, I'm trying to think of what. Oh, god dang. So, Belinda and I had. It was my turn to pick out a movie to watch. And I know we usually talk about a lot of sci-fi and things like that. But I thought it would be fun to just watch an old comedy, a classic.
Sure.
And I chose Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. That movie is still money.
Excellent. I haven't seen it in years. I love it. It was in heavy cable rotation growing up, so I watched the crap out of it.
Yeah, it is Eddie Murphy at the top of his game.
Yes.
It's Dan Aykroyd who's always at the top of his game. There's just no other place for him. It's very interesting. I think it's pretty relevant now given the political situation in the United States.
Oh God, yeah. Good Lord.
The haves and the have-nots, and then having those two, team up to turn the table, and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Oh man, I forgot what a body she had, and because man,
haven't seen True Lies in a while, then, huh?
What's that? Yeah, I've seen True Lies. I've seen True Lies, but this is even better than that in some respects, and I won't go into detail.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's a striking woman. I know two
She
ways
is.
about it.
And she's very good in just about everything she's in.
Yep. So if guys, you're looking for a reason to smile, and I think we all are these days, I highly recommend it. I'll give it a one shot of Kraken, just to have a little sociable. Just, you're gonna watch something funny. You're gonna watch Eddie Murphy. Have a shot of Kraken. There you go. What about you,
Cool.
buddy? Anything else?
The only thing I watched this week is a movie that I think we both love, and if you people listening don't love it, I think you might be the wrong podcast. It's a little Guillermo del Toro film, maybe a little action-y. It's called Pacific Rim.
Oh shit! Yeah, outstanding, man. That's a good movie.
Yeah, and it's still great. Let's be honest. There may be two moments in the movie I'm like, what? And the one is with the stupid balls thing, and when the fist goes in, you're like, I understand what you're trying to do, I think, but it doesn't really hit.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary either.
No, and that's funny in a movie with giant robots versus giant monsters. But other than that, this movie, for a movie with only 3 major fight scenes, even though one of them, the middle one, not the end one, is a very long one, and the last one is, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but it's definitely not the highlight of the movie. It's just still a good ending. It's just a well done movie.
God, now I need to watch that again. It's been too long.
It's so much fun. I love the way the characters interact. I mean, the main characters are great. I mean, Idris Elba has some of the most potentially cloying and asinine lines, and he delivers them with such gravitas. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, they do the whole Independence Day speech thing, which can be so cliche. But he pulls it off 110% because he's goddamn Idris Elba.
This shows how an actor just taking the material seriously. Doesn't matter if the material is serious. He just takes it seriously and delivers it appropriately, and it just lands.
Yep.
I feel it's bad that Charlie Hunnam's not getting more work because he was great in this. But I guess some of King Arthur I haven't seen, and I haven't seen many other movies with him. Actually, I saw that one on one Netflix movie with him and Ben Affleck and a bunch of other people.
Okay.
Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaacs.
Okay.
Was a good movie. Wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't as much work in that one, but I'll have to remember the title of it. I don't remember what it was, but it was enjoyable.
Yep. And it was a lot. This one was a lot better than its sequel too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the sequel. I
No,
feel there's a couple things you could have done. I really wish that John Boyega's character would have been raised by Herc Hansen, who was the one who had to stay behind because he broke his arm.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a much more interesting tell. He's like, "You got a son. I'm taking care of your son now because, mine's dead, and you died in my place, basically."
Yeah. Yep.
So, but it's a great movie. If you love giant robots, if you love Godzilla movies. The next team up after Godzilla and King Kong, we need Godzilla, King Kong, and Gypsy Danger. I am fucking in.
Holy shit, that'd be amazing. Taking the role of Jet Jaguar.
Absolutely. Oh man, Jaguar. No, Gypsy Danger.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
It's super sweet. It's 0 shots, but you can enjoy a couple with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'd go with that rating.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
Excellent. Well, I thought it might be a tiny little bit late, shorter show tonight, John. I'm going to call it a night. I think we'll make it an hour-long show. I'm done with my pug. I don't feel like painting on the goddamn hooch hauler right now. But here's the
proper
promise.
podcast is only as long as it needs to be, John. Never longer, never shorter.
That's right. I am going to make a promise for episode 200, which is the next episode. I will finish I'm not going to finish all the work. I'm going to finish the hooch hauler on episode 200, which means I got painting to do between now and 200.
Yeah, you do a little bit.
And get the base ready and stuff. But I will finish the detailing out of the base, and which is going to have some snow and stuff going on. So the next time you tune into this particular show, there will be a fully painted and mostly mounted hooch hauler on ready to go. So
Awesome.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start. That'll be the special thing we do for episode 200. So
200.
yeah, 200. All right, so we got the music going. Ladies and gentlemen, Kovnik Scotty Potty, love you, babe. Kathy Wapple, love you, babe. And of course, all of you who are watching this in post-production, can't imagine who that is, but there's a few, and I love you too. So tune in probably 2 weeks for episode 200. I'm calling it now. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
We won't be back this week. Next week it'll be the week after. And be safe. And remember, like they say on them cruise boats, washy washy, washy washy. Wear your fucking mask. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Fuck yeah. Wear that goddamn mask. Because it's not going to cause you to have demon semen.
Demon semen. I like that rhymes.
Boom. You heard it here first, folks.